Lions, my Leo pride. Hi. I'm pumped to talk with you as usual. It's always such a special space to be with my family and to talk about our energy and to talk about our journey, because I know that there are, being the sign ruled by the sun, these bright, vibrant people. But Leos have a very dark underside. It's this little voice that can be really dark, negative, scary, limiting, right? And that has been one of those things we've been learning and working through with the last few years. Some of us have been learning really literally via tough relationships and tough losses. And now I think a lot of us have been learning about it within ourselves, within the way we perceive our worthiness. So this month is actually really beautiful, because the point I'm trying to get to here as I pick up my cards and I start shuffling is that, we're in Cancer season now. We are leading into our season, Leo season, on July 22nd. Oh yeah, I'm so ready. I'm so ready for that energy, right? But there's no need to rush it. I'm getting goosebumps, so many goosebumps right now sitting here talking to you guys. It's like every second. It's like, woo! Okay. The note for Cancer season before we hit this Leo season is, I've got to look at it because I wrote it very specifically. I know you want to have control and to be calling all of the shots right now. However, the things being delivered to you are much bigger and more complex than you can conceive of in this current moment. So the way that you utilize the energy of Cancer this month is to put your welcome mat out to that energy you can't conceive of yet and get your energetic house in order. So the point I was trying to make when I said we have that dark side and we've been kind of figuring that out and feeling that out and what that means for us and how that's affected us over our lives. Now is a time when we are turning away from the dark voice and we are turning toward the light of possibility. More chills. Wow. The light of possibility, of value, of maybe you are allowed to just be happy. And the first step of that is putting this welcome mat out. I am seriously tearing up right now. And I'm really excited to see what the cards have to say. Let's talk a little bit about the astrology before we talk about the cards. It's a powerful time. We are finishing up the eclipses of the Leo Aquarius era that has been with us for, it'll be a year and a half by the time it ends at the end of this year. We have a new moon in Cancer with a partial solar eclipse. So that's the first eclipse that's actually leading us out of Leo being the North Node. Cancer is going to be the North Node. The North Node is going to be in Cancer, so to speak. So let's look at some of these dates. So we have this partial solar eclipse. You won't really be able to see it. Energetically, it's important because we have Cancer here, the 12th house eclipse. Speaking of getting your energetic house in order, 12th house eclipses are important. They give us a second to get in line with our spiritual space, our unseen space, the hidden secret space, and just give it a breath and infusion of light and warmth. And I think we need that. Venus is going into our second house on the 10th. Jupiter is going direct in Scorpio on that same day. There's a lot of energy shifting and moving us forward. But what's really interesting is we also have Mars retrograde in our opposite sign of Aquarius. And Mars is going he's been retrograde. He'll be retrograde all July. And he is actually going to be sitting there with the full moon in Aquarius on the 27th. Mars and the full moon in Aquarius on the 27th. Now that full moon is a total lunar eclipse. Southern hemisphere is going to get a really great show. Northern hemisphere not so much. So congrats to the Southern hemisphere. Super jealous. Wish I could be in Australia for that. But I mean, this is the big ticket item, right? When you have a total lunar eclipse, whether you can see it or not, you're going to be feeling the energy. Total lunar eclipse in your opposite relational sign. We are so deeply tied to Aquarians and Aquarian energy in our lives, and I'm sure a lot of you have personal experience with Aquarians. When you have that kind of energy illuminating your opposite sign, you are really looking at what mental thoughts, what expressive thoughts with yourself and other are working for you and what are not. And because this is one of the last eclipses in this relational eclipse season that has been so deeply and profoundly affecting Leos and Aquarians alike, this is one of the last check-ins for this learning curve that you have had over the last year and a half. It's a very specific one. It's the 2015-16 learning curve, and even a little into 17 was one. It was a really deep, dark, heavy one, the implications of which have taken a long time. The North Node in Leo learning curve that we have been going through has been profound and beautiful and empowering, also kind of heavy. This is one of the last check-ins for that. It's really a graduation. It's really a goodbye to a way of doing things that has possibly lasted for as long as 7 or 8 years. That's a big thing to say, but it's true. Let's get into these cards because I have to tell you guys, the energy is so good for Leo. It is so good for Leo. And that's why I'm saying get your energetic house in order. You know, the best thing you can do, if you know with everything in your body and everything in your soul and every single cellular level that you're going to have company that you really want coming, what's the best thing you're going to get? You know they're going to show up in a few weeks. They've booked their tickets. They're going to walk through the door. What do you want to do? You want to clean. You want to get the guest room ready. You want to bake some cookies. You want to, come up with some plans for what you're going to do. And there's no reason you would question your favorite person coming to visit when they bought their ticket, right? Same thing with the things that are going to be showing up to you. There's no reason to question it. So you might as well get ready. Use this time leading up to Leo season and going into it because Leos, you guys are shining. This is strong. First 4 cards, first half of the month leading into the 13th when we have this Cancer, new moon, and this reset energy. Boom. Are you kidding me right now? Once again, the chills, head to toe chills right now. I'm blown away. This is so powerful. The good stuff is here. Of course, we start off with the Traveler card, the 8 of Cups, of course. You can't, it's so funny. Cancer got this card too. And I love the 8 of Cups. It's leaving behind what no longer serves you. Of course, sure, this can be about breaking up or leaving something behind. I think a lot of you, this can be moving houses. This can be moving cities. This can be, or just, listen. This is so much more about the emotional, energetic landscape than any practical thing could ever be. And it can be about leaving behind practical things. It can be about leaving behind friendships or relationships that don't serve. Yes. But this card is the card of a very brave, clear-sighted soul. Somebody who is willing to go seeking. Who is willing to say, yep, all that stuff happened. All that loss, all that fear, all that heartache, all those times when I didn't value myself, and I had to go find out what that looked like. I had to go find out what it looked like to be in those depths and to feel that darkness. I had to go find out what it felt like to experience loss. I had to go find out what it felt like to be alone. I had to go find out what it would look like to open up. And that is where we are now. Shivers again. Oh, man. Now we are at the place where we have to go find out what it feels like to be hopeful, what it feels like to believe, what it feels like to do things with ease and in our natural way. And one of the biggest things I'm noticing here with the next 3 cards, where is this adventurer going? He's going straight into Fireland. First of all, the Leo Queen, here she is, Queen of Wands. One of the most psychic, empowered energies you can ever have. This is return to Leo energy at its fullest peak impact. Oh yeah. Queen of Wands is all about timing. Her energetic house is in order, and she knows it. She sits down, she's at home, she knows the people are going to show up. She's reading her favorite book, having a sip of tea, and they walk through the door and she says, oh yeah, I knew you were coming. There's a certainty in this energy. There is a very strong certainty. Practice feeling certainty. This isn't even Leo season, and look who's already here. One of the strongest energies in the deck. She knows. She knows what's coming for her. Passion, excitement, change, revolution, new beginnings. I think a lot of you are going to be moving, getting ready to move. Locations aren't staying the same. Identities aren't staying the same. There is an invitation here for a huge rush of fire energy, which Leos have been needing for months. I'm so happy to see this for the Leo tribe. I really am, because I know, and it's not just my story. I know, I talk with a lot of you, and I know what a long road it's been to get to this place of self-value, to get to this place of certainty. This has been well earned. This has been well earned energy. It is like, the deal with it, though, is practicing the certainty. The more certain you are that these things will show up, the more easily they will show up. They are coming to meet you. I mean, new passionate energies, yeah. We had some sneak peeks of it in June. Look at this, truly. The thing that I will say about the energy around Leo this month as I'm looking at it, there is a transitory energy to it all. Things are moving very swiftly and around you. There's a lot of energy coming in and going out. There's a lot of messages coming in and going out. There's kind of moving energy. And part of the power of the Queen of Wands is that she kind of sits and takes it all in. You are going to just want to pay attention to like what's going on around you. The dust will settle and you'll see what's sticking with you. But there's going to be a lot of in and out. There's going to be a lot of moving parts. And one thing I'm noticing with that, with there being so much conversation, so much of this like Knight of Wands energy is very quick moving here and there and everywhere. The best thing you can do, this is where fixed sign energy is actually really useful. You have a good center point. So kind of flow with it, right? Just rely on your center point. Don't worry too much about getting all your answers this month, because they're not going to show up this month all totally. You're going to get a huge infusion of energy, a lot of information coming at you, a lot of opportunities, a lot of like, okay, you can do this, you can choose this road, let's go. Let the dust settle a little bit, and you'll kind of see where to take your step next, right? There's just a lot of movement around. This is where getting your energetic house in order is a wise move to make. You want to build the fire. You want to set your beacon ablaze so that the things can come and find you. And that's really what we're talking about here. It's not so much about you exerting your effort outwardly. And it's much more about tending to your home fire. Man, is it sexy and intriguing when a Leo has their internal fire just lit up and taken care of. People will just show up to you, you know? They want to be around that type of fire. And whereas when you're handing out little fire lollipops, people are like, great, I love a fire lollipop. I don't know if anybody would ever say that, but they're just gonna be like, okay, great, well, you know. But the fire that is yours, magnetism times 100. I really do see so much energy coming at Leos. Oh man, people want to be around you this month. It doesn't stop there either. Once we hit past this eclipse, once we hit past the new moon and we're heading toward the full moon, what do we got? Second half of the month. So funny that the last card is the full moon, by the way. There's something going on there with that. We have more Leo energy. We have the next Leo card coming out, Strength. Boom. Once again, the thing with the Strength card, the thing with Strength and with Queen of Wands, both tend to their home fires. They don't unleash their cat or their lion on anything. They understand their value. They understand timing. They understand that things unfold in their time. What was the note that I said about this month? You're not going to be able to conceive of the things that are coming your way in August, September, October, November. They're much bigger than what you can conceive of right now. They just are. There's a lot of steps in there that need to be taken between now and then that if you had them all coming at you this week, it would just be too much. It would just genuinely be too much. Think about that. I mean, you would just break down. You just go cry in a ball in the corner. You want change to be incremental. So, trusting in your Leo value, your Leo-ness, it's valued. Being your natural self as well. Leos, we are just big hearts, right? Leos, we can be pushy, we can be dominating, we can want things to happen a certain way, we're leaders. But one of the beautiful things about Leo way, when you're feeling confident, when you're really caring about yourself, is that you just share that enthusiasm and that buoyant spirit and that love and that excitement and that joy in an easy way. So when you're excited or enthusiastic about a product, you just share that. You say, I'm excited about that. But then you let it be. You don't try and force it to be any other way. You can tell somebody how you feel. You can tell somebody you're excited. You can share information. Also, just remember that at that point, then it's not your job to figure out everybody else's reaction to that or excitement level. That's the other side I will say about this. The Queen of Cups is here. Now maybe you have some water energies around you. You could have water energies that are really teaching you something or bringing something to the surface with you. You could have a friendship that is very deeply tied to water that is teaching you something profound. The other side of this is that as much fire as we have all around Leo this month, I mean seriously, so much fire, so much, the home fires are lit. You're still going to want to check in. It's Cancer season after all, until the 22nd. And there's a lot that you can learn from your 12th house energy. What was I saying about getting your spiritual house in order? Here's the spiritual side. This is where your power is actually going to be coming from, as much as fire is your natural way. The intuitive quiet is very powerful. It will magnify anything that you externally action-based, fire-focused do on the surface. I have a feeling when I look at these two cards getting more shivers, that full moon in Aquarius is going to be a really powerful one. Wild card energy. Aquarius energy is always a little bit of a wild card. It's surprising. It creates surprise elements. It creates movement. And it could really illuminate some big movement. I think when I see these last two cards, I think you are going to get a big preview of what's to come. I think you're going to get a huge infusion of energy that has to do with the next thing. You could get a whole big download of whoa, the next year is going to look like this. The next 6 months are going to include this person coming into my life, this travel, this new adventure. Whoa. It's going to be a lot of information coming in, is what I'm seeing here. Prepare for that full moon, because it's a total lunar eclipse, like I said, and it's in the opposite sign, and it just brings with it this element of surprise and passion. Let's pull a final card from my Cosmic Tarot. I'm really curious to see what it is. Here's the thing. You're going to be getting tons of clues as to what's next. You're going to be getting, oh my God, the Tower popped out. Okay. The Tower comes out with Leos recently, right? It's been kind of showing up here and there throughout the year. It's interesting to me because the first card was the Eight of Cups and the last card is the Tower. And I see these two very deeply entwined. Yes, the Tower is about destroying an old power structure. It is about sudden change. But the Tower is about freedom. The Tower is about utter freedom. It's about the destruction of ego, the destruction of power dynamics. Look at that crown falling. Honestly, if I'm going to be really honest and a little bit poetic about the Leo path, being a leader and being the sun and being the magnetic, forward-focused visionary is extremely powerful. And it can be its own prison to decide you are going to wear that crown and dominate everything all the time. It is very tempting to put that crown on and feel like if you can control it all, it will work better. One of the lessons the last 3 years that has been coming up again and again for Leo has been that crown is actually a prison. The way you use your sun energy, the way you use your visionary leadership, warm, creative, powerful energy is not via the crown. That is fake glory, and we all know it. It's via the childlike playfulness and belief and hope and creativity of our hearts. And those are two lenses through which Leo energy is understood. A lot of times people give Leos crap for being extra, wanting all the cute clothes and to look pretty and to wear lots of makeup and to be in charge and to just constantly be grooming and lazy and all these things. And that is the superficial side of Leo. And that's the prison. You're being asked to let that go. So that it's not giving you what you want. And when I see this specifically with this deck of cards, the Tower, look at that crown. I mean, I can't help but see that the crown is being just thrown away so that you get to use your greater inner vision. So don't let the Tower scare you this month. It's really not scary. Like I told you, that moon is a graduation from a long cycle, a very, very long cycle. 7 or 8 years for a lot of you, definitely the last 3 or 4. And you gotta say goodbye to that fear that if you aren't in control and you aren't in charge and you're not dominating everything, that somehow things will fall apart and you won't be loved and you will be left alone, right? And I think a lot of you, you're already 10 steps past this. You've connected with this lesson and you you know what I'm talking about. Those moments where you just want to control because you're just freaked out, This month is really about having the faith. The guests are going to arrive. Get your house ready. And the Tower is just that reminder, that last full moon check-in with your opposite sign, with your teacher, to just know it's okay to keep going on this path. And the good stuff will show up. The greater the faith, the greater the reward. The more you take that pressure off yourself to be this dominating leader, the easier the leadership comes. I didn't even plan on going down that path with you, Leos, but seeing that card at the top made me think about it a lot. There are a lot of deep themes here this month, but also so much excitement. I am so intrigued by what all these wands energy, all this fire coming to meet you. Passion is in the air. Ignition switch hit. That's why it's even more important to relax. You're already on fire. Okay, my loves. I'm sitting here with Jill's beautiful paintings. These are very water-based paintings, and we have, of course, the beautiful Cancer monthly painting. She's going to have prints, so go check out her website if you are into the Cancer vibes and just the beauty of this artwork. Check out her website. I would love to see you over on Instagram at the SARAHTAROT. We have so much fun, and I'm trying to do more and more energetic check-ins on my stories, so check that out. Also, I'll leave my website and my email below. I'm going to be doing some video recordings for Leo season, but I am going to be traveling during that time, so it's a little crazy. But email me. I would love to do a birthday reading with my family. I will also be setting up readings for September, so get in touch with me if you're interested in one of those. I love you guys so, so very much. I'm so excited for July. I will see you in August. Hang in there. Know you have value. It's all going to be amazing.